Drove through the campus on my way to our recording studio.
And we're sitting in the, outer alumni office right now.
That's where we are. Yeah.
Right. They wouldn't let us actually on campus at the moment. Well, Gary, this is episode 57 of our show.
57.
Yeah, been going on quite a long time here.
Yep.
And we got a lot to talk about, I think, on this show. Just kind of you and me sitting around and shooting the breeze, which
that's
is fun to do every so often. And I just wanted to give a shout out. We have, a new president of one of our fan clubs.
Whoa.
Yep. And this is our Australian chapter.
Oh, man, that's great.
Gary and Mark Show fan club. So I want to shout out to Robin Dunn.
Robin Dunn.
Yep. In Australia, she is spreading the word. She actually... Let's give her some applause, first of all. Okay.
There you
go,
go,
Robin. All right. We got all these people here in the U.S. are thanking you for taking on that role.
Yeah.
She actually asked for a couple of our stickers.
Well, I'd say the least we can do.
The least we can do. So, Robin, thanks for being part of our show. We look forward to having you stick around for longer than most of our people.
That's a big country. We're in Australia.
I would have to go look it up because I mailed her the stickers.
Because it seems like a lot of the big cities down that southeast coast.
Could be.
Sydney,
I do have
Melbourne.
I have her address.
And then way over in Western Australia, remember, that's where Perth.
You know more than I do.
Oh, just from
geography.
All I know
is it's in the southern hemisphere, right?
It is.
So they're going into
they're
going into some.
Well, summer's they're halfway through summer.
That's right. We're halfway through winter.
Yeah.
And today it feels a little bit like fall or something.
Boy, and yesterday, mid-60s, sun, no cold wind out of the north. It was you got a little hint of what spring's like.
That's true. Except those people in Texas were about to get an ice storm or something like that.
But where I am, just 20 miles up the hill, seemed like watching the bluebirds and some we got pre-nesting behavior going on and courtship.
Well, and I feed the birds out there, and I had some suet 2 days ago, fresh cake. Yesterday afternoon it was a quarter of a cake, and today it was all gone. So those birds are hungry.
Yeah.
But, in addition to Australia, we've been listened to all over the world. But we are, and this is no lie, people don't believe me sometimes, the other day, look it up, we were number 30 in comedy in Croatia.
Well, that says a lot.
I'm not sure where Croatia is.
Well, you know where Croatia is. It's over
Eastern Europe somewhere?
Well, it used to be part of Yugoslavia, but what divides Croatia from some of the other provinces over there, part of it is the religion.
Which,
let's see. I'm going to get in trouble here. They're not.
Yeah, be careful now.
I think they're. It was not Catholic. You got some Muslim anyway, Croatia, and then it's about all. I mean, it's the coast of Croatia is very. It's the Adriatic, and it's supposed to be really nice.
See, he's a historian.
I've never been there.
Well, me either. He's a historian. He should be a geographer teacher or something. Geography teacher. But we don't want to upset our Croatian fans. So thank
Croatia.
You. Yeah. So get us 30. To number one. Get us to number one.
Yeah, and then I'd kind of like to know who 31 is on their list.
It could. Yeah, there may only be 30 podcasts in all of Croatia, but my guess is that there's more than that.
And a very good tennis player who actually won Wimbledon.
Listen to this guy.
Well, it was the year It was actually the year I went to Wimbledon, 2001. I wasn't there for the finals. I did get to watch Pete Sampras play.
Oh, you weren't playing?
And
he is a tennis professional. He used to be.
What boy, I'm spacing on his name. I can see him. He's got very this is terrible. I can't.
Vladimir Horowitz?
Well, what was it?
He
was a very good tennis player and a good guy, and I'll think of his name later.
Yeah, well, we'll put it in the notes. We'll look that up.
Yeah. Had a big booming serve. I think he beat Patrick Rafter from Australia in the finals.
Well, was this guy you're talking about from Croatia?
Yeah.
Well, maybe some of our fans will go to
They'll
our website.
call in, go to or you could
GaryandMark.com. You can find a contact link. Let us know who that person is. I bet you know.
I can picture his face, but I'm not coming up with the name. But the people here at the university, operating the phones, if you want to call in to.
Yeah, we got actually Dee Dee is filling in today. So if you want to talk to Dee Dee, she'll pick that phone call up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, another thing, you were just talking about what year you went there.
Yeah.
This happens to be the year of the trail in North Carolina.
Well, that's a nice, I'm all for that.
I am. So you probably, I know we might go hiking this afternoon, but what would be your favorite trail in North Carolina if you just had to pick one?
You mean just a stretch to walk?
Yeah, just like if you were doing a day hike or an overnight.
If you could, I don't have to drive to Carver's Gap, but which is close to where your camp was. That stretch of the AT from Carver's Gap up over Little Hump and Hump.
Oh, yeah.
That would put that right up there. I mean, there are other stretches that I still haven't done in North Carolina, but that's a pretty nice
we ought to do a podcast on that trail like we did at Mondamon one time.
Well, and if we do, we should also stop in Burnsville. Now there's the missing link in Burnsville for this 300-mile loop course that Jen Farr Davis and others have done.
She think she would go on the show with us, or is she too up there,
Oh, I think if she has the time, I think she would, yeah.
Well, I can't keep up with her, so we got to follow her. That's not going to work, but so there's connector trail that takes the AT up to Mount Mitchell or something? Or?
Well, it's a connector trail that kind of allows the Appalachian Trail to connect with the Mountains to Sea Trail.
That's right. I remember
and
reading.
Then it's like 300 some miles, something. Oh. I think that's right. I'm not sure.
That would be a great topic to do.
Yeah.
Well, the other day, I don't know if you ever see this app called Nextdoor.
Oh, yeah.
So I had posted on my YouTube channel a couple of videos about trails.
Yeah.
And I'm the casual hiker, not like you. So there's one guy reached out to me. Won't mention his name. I don't think he's listening to the podcast. But he said, well, if you ever want to do some hiking, I'm always up for some hiking. I said, yeah, I'm always looking for another. But he says, well, I'll tell you, I'm kind of slow, blah, blah, blah. So he was mentioning a couple of local trails called Big Bradley.
Yeah.
Big Bradley that aren't any easy trails.
I said, all down and all up.
Yes. Yeah. And one of them's stretch was actually closed right now, Big Bradley, because of safety issues. But at least I heard that. And I said to him, maybe I misused the word hiker and hiking. Maybe, unlike Gary here, maybe I should have said like a walk in the woods is what I like to do, which is what you and I may do this afternoon.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I hope we do.
Something new.
This thing, whole year of the trail, this is that time of year I get a feed. I think it's AT Thru Hikers 2023, and I'm not an AT Thru hiker, but you get on there people who have walked the trail or want to walk the trail or part of the trail, getting on, some asking questions, lots of opinions. But it is that, it's that time of year, I guess traditionally, way back when, you would start April 1 if you were going to, and follow the spring on your way north. Now, folks are starting earlier and earlier, and it has, I can't imagine how the numbers have blown up.
Have they?
The people's, part of it probably because of cell phones and maps, or just how the word gets out. And, some folks start out in the spring and walk the whole thing, and I'm sure there are a lot that start out and...
Well, most don't.
Well...
I'm that Bill Bryson type of hiker who would... Actually, I think he kept walking some, but
he did. Yeah,
he was shedding gear every 2 feet, which was smart. So, just for our Croatian listeners, just in 1 minute, tell them what the Appalachian Trail is.
Well, it's a footpath all the way from Georgia to Maine. And actually now they've kind of extended or trying to extend it up into Newfoundland. But let's just go with the traditional roughly 2,200 miles, following the chain of the Appalachian Mountains from Georgia up to Maine, with the one in Maine, where I've never been to Mount Katahdin, but that in Baxter State Park, though my in-laws' ashes reside in that state park.
Well, that's,
and the other end now, Springer Mountain in Georgia. It used to be in the up until I'm not sure when they relocated. It used to be Mount Oglethorpe.
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But why did he relocate? Do you remember offhand?
You know, that would be a Peter Barr question. I would not quite sure why, but it did relocate. And of course, this is where you mention, if you had to mention just two people who walked the trail, Earl Schaefer, credited with the first through hike, 1948, World War II veteran. He's said he's trying to walk off the war. And then I'm not sure what year in the 50s, Grandma Gatewood.
I love that story.
Oh, yeah, Grandma Gatewood. And you look at her gear and it's like a laundry bag and a shower curtain. But, you know, she grew up in Ohio, farm woman, raised I don't know how many kids, an abusive husband. I mean, you've put up with that, I'm sure, walking the trail.
And is it true when she made it to the end, she turned around and started back?
That I don't know.
Okay, I'd heard
Although I think the first time she started, seems like she had a. Did she start up in Maine? She had a trip that really turned out bad after a few days, and then I don't know, it was the next year, kind of a redo. But yeah, walking in her kids and with her laundry bag and her.
And I think there's a book about that.
I've got it. Hey, I've got it. Grandma Gatewood's Walk. Yeah.
She didn't write it though, did she?
No.
Earl Schaefer, did he write?
He did, and I've got a copy of that, Walking with Spring.
That's
right. I'll pull that out every now and then, read a piece. You know, Peter Barr, who we interviewed last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is so into AT history that when he started his walk in 04, 05, whenever, he first went to Mount Oglethorpe because he wanted, like Earl had done. And then about halfway through his walk, you know, he stopped. Is it Library of Congress, you know, wherever, one of those places, museum, whatever. They have Earl Schaefer's boots in his pack.
So he
had to go see those.
Don't blame him.
No,
that was no easy trek from where the trail was to D.C. if that's where he was.
Well,
headed.
he did. I think he
didn't
got a
walk,
ride for that. Yeah,
and we know he was on our show.
Yeah,
and we need to get him back. He is traveling the whole United States in an RV.
Yeah,
bag peaking, I guess you call it.
Yeah, peak bagging.
Trying to get the highest peaks in each state or
bless his heart.
Yeah, I think if I was doing that, I'd stick to the ones in Louisiana and Florida.
Yeah,
I could do those. They're about 20 feet or so.
Well, Mount Dora.
Which one is that, Florida?
That Florida. I used to know a guy lived near Mount Dora. He worked at a summer camp. Yeah.
At Mondamin or a different summer camp?
No, let's see. Which one? Now, see, there you go again, the brain. He knew Longnecker, but he'd been Sequoia. I'm not sure. He never worked at Mondamin, but one of those camp humans.
Yeah, they're out there. All right, Gary. Well, that's a good story.
Well,
let's talk about some things in the news right now. How about the price of eggs? I've heard it going up.
Well, I've you know, and since no kids live at my house, man, I don't go through them like I used to, but still, I guess they're more expensive. But my main breakfast is oatmeal with sorghum and peanut butter. So,
do you mix that up or something?
Yeah.
I mean, like mix it up in a blender?
No. I cooked the oatmeal. I cooked the oatmeal.
Okay.
Then I pour a healthy dollop of sorghum in there for sweetener. I might put that in the microwave to loosen up the sorghum a little bit. And then I just, I get the peanut butter that's just the ground peanuts, put that in, mix it up with a spoon.
Sounds tasty.
It is tasty.
Almost, I'd say 6 mornings a week I have Carnation instant breakfast, protein milk, and V8 juice.
Well,
it's good. And then I make waffles on the 7th day, or eggs, an omelet. Well, I haven't actually bought eggs in a couple weeks, but I I plan to go get some. Hope they're not too high, because if they are too high, maybe won't buy them.
Well,
I mean, I don't have any chickens, but I don't want to.
No, and apparently this has stimulated people into buying chickens and feed, thinking they're going to, save money. Well,
I'm gonna tell you a story about saving money, because I love cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad would grow them, and we'd get them by the bushels. So I thought I could do that, because it was 98 cents at the grocery store each. Still 98 cents, sometimes more. So I thought I could grow some out here, and I had to call Dee Dee. I'm telling you, it cost me $30 for one cucumber, because I bought a tray to put seeds in. I bought the seeds, I bought fertilizer, the right kind of soil, the watering can. Now, I know some of those people would already have that stuff, but not me. And I finally got 3 cucumbers for my $100, so about $33 a cucumber.
Well, but now that you got the stuff, maybe you should.
I threw it away. I was disgusted.
So you try again.
It gave me new respect for farmers.
Yeah.
It's no easy life out there.
It's constant failure. And it's just, but failure's just part of the deal. Yeah.
So you think if this egg raising, chicken growing thing takes off,
yeah,
you think GMPU, which is primarily a podcast university, you think we could add a agricultural school, or whatever you call that?
An egg
husbandry or something?
Or egg museum, maybe a picture. Here's what an egg looked like when it was only this much.
That's true.
And
well, if it's 3 times the prices, probably would still look the same.
Well, then we'd have to it might require more campus security to.
Well, Dee Dee's strapped pretty thin out there.
Yeah.
Pretty much handles the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I thought she raises chickens. Maybe she could actually teach the class. Yeah. She could teach the class.
Well, there you go. We could raise your own eggs. Well, when I'd visit my cousin's farm in the Panhandle, that was a part of the deal, going out to the chicken house in the morning, getting those warm eggs out of the nest.
Really?
Bringing them in.
I've never had that pleasure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people raise chickens all around
me.
But,
well, Frank McNutt.
You keep mentioning
Frank.
He's
got chickens.
We should get him on the show sometime.
We should.
He's not far away.
No, he's not. Yeah.
So,
eggs.
There are rumors circulating around. One is that Biden, Trump, Pence aren't the only ones with classified documents.
We want to be ahead of this story, not behind.
Well,
that we have no.
Yeah, you tell what the story is.
No classified documents here.
We hardly have any documents.
So
we don't keep records.
We don't, and this is exactly why.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's right, because
if the FBI shows up and wants to go through the barn or the campus or the off campus or the campus annex, let them have at it.
You know what? And we'll actually ask Dee Dee to open every door, every drawer. We're not holding back.
We're not.
We're cooperating.
We are.
And there won't be anything found.
That's right.
So if you actually enrolled in the university, those documents are gone. You've got the certificate.
Yeah.
Actually, we put your name on the website, but we could have that disappear somehow or another. But no classified documents on campus.
Not for us.
Nope. It's not part of what we do.
We're all above board, and I think we're also seeking new sponsors.
We are. We've had sponsors for quite some time, and we'll pay some homage to them at the end, but we're ready for new sponsors, or those others can ante up. So all you have to do is go to GaryandMark.com website, and you can see forums there. You can sponsor us for as little as $1.
Yeah.
Or $2. If you gave us $5, you'd be like major sponsor.
You would.
But get your name called out every time.
I want to get back to, here we were talking about the trail, and it's the year of the trail, and to the developments of these rails to trails, and the Saluda grade, talking about turning that into a bike path.
I tell you, and walking, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I hope that happens.
Well, it sounds like it's gonna, and there are all these old rail trails now that have friends of mine live up in Kentucky and Ohio. Old railroad grades that have been turned into bike paths.
Well, I just have an e-bike. I know you're not into e-bikes, but you're fitting whatever at over 70, and I'm 70 something, but I'm not in your kind of shape. So it's been great. And I've been over to Forest City to the Thermal Belt Rail Trail 3 times.
That's nice.
Have you seen it?
No.
17 miles each way. So you do it, I think. 34. You go twice, up and back. Don't have to do the whole thing. It is delightful. It's all paved. Some rail trails aren't, like Virginia Creepers.
Yeah.
You ever been to the Virginia Creeper?
On pieces, but on foot.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the gold standard.
It is. Yeah. And I'm telling you, if the Saluda Grade Rail Trail happens, and I do think it will, because I think the railroad's ready to give the right, do the transfer. It's to redoing all the tracks that have washed out and stuff. It's going to take some time, but it will be popular because it goes through some gorgeous scenery that, for the most part, people aren't walking through because it's pretty steep land.
Yeah.
And the rail trail, the fact that it's Saluda Grade, the steepest railroad main line in East or America or something, will bring a lot of rail fans who want to walk it.
Yeah.
So I hope that happens.
Well, and, it's under the line from Hendersonville to Brevard is taking shape even as we speak. The Acosta Trail.
And how long is that one? What happened to be?
I think it's 17 miles.
So because I heard they would love to, when the Saluda Rail Trail gets done, it ends in Zirconia.
Yeah.
How hard would it be to get to Zirconia to where Hendersonville, where that one, Acosta starts?
Oh, I think they're already
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because there's track.
Yeah.
Because there was a short line.
Yeah.
That went from Flat Rock, I thought, somewhere to Asheville or something. A little, the train just served a few people. I don't know. That could be gone.
But, I just delved into the Great Allegheny Passage. I got it, and I even got the trail guide. I don't know if I'll do it, but it connects, Cumberland, Maryland, where the C&O Canal ends.
Oh, okay.
And takes you to Pittsburgh.
Wow. I've been on the C&O one time.
Mm-hmm, me too. But you could, and I think once again, this is allowed businesses to spring up along the way. There are places to stay and places to eat. I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 miles from Cumberland, Maryland to kind of, I guess, the southern burbs of Pittsburgh.
Well, this is a trail country.
It's great.
It is great. Well, I have one more bit of what could be bad news.
All right.
I heard that George Santos is claiming Gary? You told me this.
Well, that he is a graduate of the G&M Podcasting University, and we want to be ahead on that story too. We have we don't have any records, but if we had records,
he would not be on our roster.
No, he wouldn't be there. And I dare you, George Santos, to produce a certificate that shows you're a graduate. You go ahead and show me the certificate, George Santos.
You do. We're waiting right here.
Yeah.
We'll wait for that phone call. Didi will take it and forward it right to the presidents.
We're talking tough here.
We are. And, not only did he say he was a graduate, he claimed he had a master's degree. And we haven't even started giving those out yet.
No. But we would give you one if you wanted to send us some money.
Not George Santos.
No, him. Well,
we could. You could be the very first master's program graduate from Gary Mark Podcasting University. And it's never too late to enroll.
That's right.
Yep. It is possible that you could apply today and graduate today. If you're
lucky.
You could. As have all of our graduates. If you go online to GaryandMark.com, you can go to the Gary and Mark Podcast University page. You will see a list of our distinguished alumni.
Yeah.
Yep, and our faculty members.
Or you may want to just come and tour the campus sometime.
That's true. We'd love to have you.
Please come.
Please come. And you would actually receive with your, you have to order it because we don't have a way to send this electronically, but you could get, GMPU
GMPU
decal. And also one of our sponsors, Rabbit Island.
Rabbit Island.
While they last. Well, Gary, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, let's get back to, here's some trail news.
Trail news.
If you want to go to the Smokies and you plan on parking, it's going to cost you, and it should. I'm all for it.
I filled out that survey thing, and I said, if that money stays in the Smokies, I'm all for it too, because the park itself is free.
Yeah.
So, of course, without paying permit, I think you have to stop and be gone in 30 minutes.
15
minutes. So there's no use. I mean, you pretty much, unless you're driving through, and I guess some people do, they need to pay that, and it's like $5 a day.
Well, you can do a daily, a weekly, or I think the year pass, which I probably will get, is $40.
And that's not bad, because you do go a lot. I get up there maybe twice a year,
I get 7 trips. Maybe more, but I do know that, last year, just driving through the park, the popular trailheads, you had the allotted parking area and it would be covered up, and then people are just on the side of the road and the side of the road, and you wish you could educate people to say, hey, maybe if the trailhead is covered up with cars, have a plan B. Mm-hmm. Go walk somewhere else.
And they're hard. They need more staff, because it's a lot of area, 500,000 acres.
Yep.
14+ million visitors.
Yep.
And I did spend a day there as a ranger.
Yeah, that's right.
I could go back and do it again.
You have experience.
I do have experience. Yeah. Okay. Well, Gary, I remind people to check out our website, GaryandMark.com.
Okay. Please.
Keep following this podcast. Thank our sponsors. Remember any of them?
Well, let's see. How about, I don't know if the Big Whiz Pocket Buddy.
They're still around.
They're still around.
Okay.
Yeah. You already mentioned Rabbit Island Resort.
Right. Sluta Outfitters.
I drove right by there.
Yeah. Home of the Green River
Eddie's
Tap Room and Grill or something.
Yeah.
L.J. Myers and his White Dove releases. Yeah. It could be others, little ones like Iron Key Brewing Company.
Yeah.
They gave us free beer one day.
Yeah, we could pick up some Australian sponsorships.
That would be nice.
Good.
That would be nice. And what's that brewery, the zero alcohol? It was really good.
Oh, Athletic Brewing Company.
Athletic Brewing. And we have actually spurred people to buy that. And it's good. I haven't seen it around where I live, but I know it's in Asheville.
Yeah. Hey, one more plug before you go, because if winter is a tunnel, we're almost halfway through.
Good.
Me growing up, this would be the time of year the winter's kind of dragging on, and I really one of the foods for me in the winter was sorghum. And my mom would make biscuits, and you put sorghum on biscuits, or my dad would have an old ham be hanging in the garage, and you'd take that down in the winter. It's country ham, very salty, slice it up, and I can still, of those things, I don't eat much in the way of biscuits and ham anymore, but all I have to do is take a spoonful of sorghum, and it just takes me back to when I was a kid.
I bet so, yeah.
And I'll give a plug, my friend Ronnie Lundy, the food writer, she wrote a book called Sorghum Savor, and it's got some wonderful recipes. Barbara's going to make some ginger cookies today. Sorghum's a great sweetener.
Yeah, so I wouldn't know if I've ever had any, but an old friend of mine from college, high school, 1 year older, I guess, Dan Cameron, former teacher, he actually raises the stuff.
Yeah.
And he brings friends in to help do all that work, and it's not an easy job.
No, and I worked with a fellow, Jerry Brindle, talked about, you'd have the little donkey or mule, whatever, walking in a circle, and you'd be feeding in the cane to grind it up. But you can imagine a couple hundred years ago, if you lived out here, you didn't have, this is your sugar, or one of your sugars. You didn't have white sugar. So, but sorghum to me is just a wonderful sweetener for things. Doesn't overpower. I think Ronnie Lundy says it's a deeper note, like a bass note.
How does that compare to like honey? No comparison.
The taste to me, I've always preferred sorghum to honey, and I do know there's some folks that are allergic to honey.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, not one of them, but honey was one thing in all my backpacking. I never liked taking it because you really have to be careful of the stickiness. Of course, I don't take sorghum either.
Yeah.
About cleaning stuff up, that will stick to fat. I mean,
Yeah, like marshmallows.
yeah, it's asking for trouble.
So,
Even though it's a great food.
all right. Well, we had a
Yeah.
rambling show today.
We
I
a
love that.
rambling show.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to
That
think
could
of
be our nickname, the Ramblers.
the Ramblers. Still trying to think. I can see the guy who won 2001
All right.
Wimbledon.
So
but-
our Croatian fans
Yeah.
need to send that in, GaryandMark.com.
Yeah.
Look for the contact page.
yeah.
Well, Gary, it's been a good show, you
All
think?
right. Thanks, Mark. Yep.
All right. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Come back again.
Yep. Goran Ivanisevic.
Whoa, he just remembered it. Say it, Gary.
Goran Ivanisevic.
I knew he would get it.
Yeah.
See you, folks. Bye-bye.